Hey gang, it's your buddy Plant. Today I show you how to make Chipotle Honey Bacon Jerky. So let's go. Alright, so a few weeks ago you might remember I made a batch of bacon jerky. It's a pretty straightforward recipe. Just put a little brown sugar on the bacon, a little cracked black pepper, and it came out really well. I really like the combination of flavors. That peppery bite, the brown sugar for the sweetness, and then that just salty, savory goodness of bacon. I mean, who doesn't love bacon? Bacon's great. So again, adding those other flavors to that bacon just turned out really good. I really like that jerky, and I've been thinking about kind of different flavor combinations to play with, because I do like the sweetness along with that again salty goodness of the bacon. But I think, you know, if you add a little spice to it, it will just add more depth to that flavor. So what we're going to do today is make a Chipotle Honey bacon jerky. I'm just going to use a little bit of this Chipotle flavored Cholula sauce. Chipotle is kind of a smokier heat, so again we're kind of adding another layer of flavor. I'm just going to use a little bit of Clover Honey I have left over, and the particular bacon I'm using is, and this is for a 1 pound batch, is 1 pound of thick cut bacon. That's what they had available in the store. We'll see how it affects the time. If I remember right, I think on that other batch I used thick cut bacon and we were still around 4 hours, so I don't think it'll affect the time too much, but it possibly could. So with that being said, let's make some Chipotle Honey bacon jerky. Alright, so to start off with, first thing we're going to do is preheat our oven to 325. We're not making the jerky in the oven, but because of the high fat content, I've talked about this throughout my jerky videos, that in general you want less fat because it makes it tougher to preserve the meat, or kind of drops the shelf life. So because we do have such a high fat cut of meat, we're going to go ahead and put it in the oven for a little bit, about 15-20 minutes, to kind of render off some of that fat, to make sure, as far as kind of an internal temperature thing goes, just kind of for a food safety thing, and also it cuts a little bit of time off from what we have in the dehydrator. So I've got my oven preheating, and I'm going to go ahead, and this is something I did in the previous video too. Instead of, you could use the whole strip of the bacon if you want on your dehydrator, or place it here on the rack. I like doing little half strips. It just makes it more bite size. It's not, as far as anything about cooking fast or anything like that, just makes it a little, more of a bite size, kind of a presentation thing almost. So I'm going to cut this bacon in half real quick. Oh God, that's beautiful. Have I told you I love bacon? I love bacon. So let me cut this in half real quick. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start traying this up. Then we're going to, like I said, we're going to let this sit in the oven for about 15-20 minutes, and then we'll come back and mix together our Chipotle and honey, and then add it to the bacon and get it prepped for the dehydrator. Alright, so our bacon's been in the oven for 20 minutes. We let it sweat off some of that fat. Now time to just create our marinade and add it to the bacon. I've got in here roughly 1 cup of Clover Honey, and I'm just going to sprinkle this Chipotle in. I'm not going to use an exact amount, just make it a taste. No need to get exact with this, we're just having a little fun, so put a few, oh gosh, it came in a little aggressive. Alright, I'm going to stir this up. Oh, I can smell that Chipotle, that smells good. I don't drink Bloody Marys, but it smells like it'd be good in Bloody Mary. Alright, let's give her a little taste. Oh, that works. That definitely works. I think we might have something there, kid. I could use the back of that spoon, but I got one of these little basting brushes, and we're just going to go along and coat this bacon real quick. Like I said, I could have used the back of the spoon, but since I did happen to have one of these brushes, why not? You don't have to use all this marinade. This is just kind of a guesstimate on what I use. If we wanted to, I could really slather it on thick, what have you, but I thought just cup was a good round number. So I'm going to go ahead and coat all this bacon, and we'll come back. I'll have it all trayed up on the dehydrator, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I got our jerky trayed up, and I actually ended up using a good bit of that marinade. I just slathered it on both sides. Like I said, you can put as much or little as you want to, but I got a little aggressive with it, and that's alright. So I've got our dehydrator. Real quick, I'll remind people, I've talked about this in other videos. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can use your oven. If you use your oven, generally set it to the lowest setting available. Most ovens are going to be around that 175 range, 170. If it goes lower, you can go down to 160, I would. This particular dehydrator sit for 160. If you have a dehydrator with different temperature settings, go ahead and set it for the highest, which is usually 160, 165, those dehydrators. Some of the lower settings for like fruits and vegetables get down around 100, 110. That's too low when using meat, so you want it on that top setting. I'm going to go ahead, turn this on. We will come back at the 4-hour mark and see where we're at. Like I said, this thick cut bacon, so it may take a hair longer, but I got a feeling 4 hours is going to be the right choice. So let's come back in 4 hours and see how we've done. Alright, so it's been 4 hours, and as you can hear, the dehydrator is still running, and that is because our bacon is still a little limp. I had said earlier in the video that I thought because I'd used a thick cut bacon that may be a reason, but the more I got to thinking about it, I don't think that's it. I think it's because I covered the bacon with honey on both sides, and that honey kind of coats it and makes it harder for that moisture to come out of the bacon or to get extracted out. So I got a feeling this is going to take a little while. Like I said, it's a 4-hour point. We're going to give it at least another hour, but I got a feeling we got a couple more to go. This is just, when you start a new hobby like this, start doing new things, these are things you just kind of learn along the way. And like I said, in hindsight, being 2020, putting the honey on both sides, is probably keeping that moisture in. So we're going to give this a little more time, and then we'll come back. Alright, so it's been a little over an hour since we checked on it, so we're in the process, or in the dehydrator, for over 5 hours now. And I think this last little extra hour plus has really done us some good, so let's give it a try. That is nice. Again, the body, as far as the texture or as far as the firmness of this bacon jerky, will never be as firm as regular beef jerky or sticks or anything like that. But you do want a little firmness to the body. This firmed up real nice. The flavors that I was shooting for in this recipe come out a little more subtle. Obviously, you get that salty, meaty goodness from the bacon. The honey's obviously there. The Chipotle Cholula I put on there, I don't get much heat, but I do pick up the smokiness a little bit. So that's something you can always adjust. I think if I did this again, though, I think I might just put the honey on one side of the jerky instead of both. Interested to see how that would make a difference. Also, too, I think I'm interested to see how, if I leave this overnight, how it'll taste tomorrow. This is just really coming out of the dehydrator, so Give it a little time to set. Maybe it'll come out a little different, or maybe what have you. I just know that I really liked how that brown sugar kind of gave an exterior texture. Maybe that's what I was thinking in my mind. But overall, it turned out real nice. Trust me, this is going to get eaten. This is some good stuff. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Well, until next time, bottoms up.